Hello, everyone. Welcome to the seventh episode of the Intentional Living series by Skin Aesthetic. It's the first episode of the year, so Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Jumai Logun. I'm the host of the Intentional Living series, and I'm a certified esthetician and founder of Skin Aesthetic. Skin Aesthetic is a corrective mobile skin clinic, first of its kind in Nigeria. My team and I deliver safe, personalized, and results-oriented treatments to skin conditions like acne, pigmentation, aging, acne scars, and keloids to your doorsteps. Again, welcome to the Intentional Living series. If you are just joining the Intentional Living series for the first time, Intentional Living series is a bi-weekly show where we bring experts from different walks of life to have conversations around topics that affect our skin health and our general well-being. Because we believe that our skin is not in isolation. Whatever is happening within and around us affects our skin. And by that, we need to be very intentional about ourselves, the things around our well-being. Then, of course, it has an impact on our skin. And today, I'm bringing a very special guest, someone that I've always looked up to, and I finally met through the journey of helping people to solve their skin problems, right? And no other person today, like I told her, I said, when I reached out, I said, I don't want any other person to talk about this topic. I can't think of any other person that will bring the kind of authenticity and energy that you will bring. So today, on the seventh episode, we're talking skin goals, self goals, and life goals. How we can integrate these three goals together to have a more balanced and meaningful life. And with our guest speaker for today is the phenomenal Imi Abimbola. So I'm going to be reading her profile, a bio to you rather. I have a gist surrounding this bio with me and my teammates. But I will first read the bio, and then when I talk about it, I hope it will help you understand why we discuss what we discuss too. So Imi Abimbola is an accomplished business leader with over 22 years of experience working in various capacities within the management, consulting, international development space, with extensive expertise in sustainability reporting, capacity building on corporate sustainability, CSR, ESG performance, sustainable corporate governance, people and change management, strategic policy formulation, development communications, strategy formulations and evaluations, projects and innovations management. Imi is the founder and former lead consultant, CEO of Tistu Praxis Consulting Limited, a management consulting sustainability, strategy, and business advisory firm she founded in 2010. TPC provides strategy development, CSR sustainability management, process improvements, organization transformation, risk governance, performance management, program management, and advisory services. She's a lecturer, member of faculty, MBA program on international corporate social responsibility management at the Ferdinand Porsche FEMH University of Applied Science, Austria, and serves as country and regional lead, Sub-Saharan Africa, for the CSR Company, a global CSR network of organizations spanning 4 continents: Southeast Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. She's also a visiting faculty at the Nigerian University of Technology and Management, NUTM. She guides boards, executive, governance, risk, and sustainability practitioners towards social, environmental, and economic innovations that create shareholder and business value. She's a specialist in corporate governance, sustainability leadership, and transformational business practices. and relationships. She has facilitated high-level board retreats and trained C-suite executives within the private and public sectors. Before setting up TPC Consulting, Ini serves as Executive Director of Women in Management and Business, WIMBIZ. As Executive Secretary, where she revitalized the organization and moved membership from about 100 to over 300 members. Ini also created the mentoring program, the corporate governance program for SMEs, and ensuring the organization joined global platforms such as the Vital Voices and the African Women Business Network, receiving over $200,000 in grants to enhance its operations in Nigeria. Ini has also served as the pioneer executive director, Defense for Children International, Nigerian section, as a consultant with the Women, Gender and Development Directorate of the African Union, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, as well as the African Center for Gender and Development within the UN Economic Commission in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. A 2008 Draper Hills Fellows on Democracy, Development and Rule of Law at Stanford University, California, and an alumnus of the Harvard Business School Executive Education Program. Ini holds a bachelor and a master's in business administration from Knesford University, a bachelor in English language and literary studies, and a postgraduate diploma in management from the University of Calabar. Ini is the Vice President, founding member, Association of Sustainability Professionals of Nigeria, ASPN, convener, African CEO Roundtable and Conference on Corporate Sustainability and Responsibility, ARCSR, member, Akwa Ibom State Education Think Tank, member, and the African Council World Economic Forum, WEF. Ini is a published author of 3 books and over 25 publications, chapters, and articles, and has delivered more than 120 presentations in over 15 countries in the last 10 years on a range of topics, some of which include corporate governance, change management, enterprise development, sustainability, and CSR. A member of the Council for Development of Social Science Research in Africa and the Institute of Directors. Ini sits on various organization boards and advisory councils. Welcome. Let's welcome Mrs. Ini.
Hello.
Hello, Auntie. If I can call you that publicly, if you are joining us. Welcome.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty great. How are you doing this evening? I love that you're not wearing makeup. You know.
Well, I love that. Since we're talking about skin, I should not wear makeup.
Yes, that's how we roll, right? We roll with our clean skin, right? I was hoping in my heart that you won't wear makeup. I don't want to suggest this. I just wanted it to happen so that we can flood our skin, right?
That's true.
It's good to have you here, Auntie. It's good to have you here. So before I read your bio, I was telling the audience that something happened within my team when we're supposed to post about your bio on our pages, right? And they came back to me and said, "Oh, it's too long. People might not just read it." And then I was like, okay, because most of them are Gen Z, and I listen to them. You know, they have a different way of thinking from us. So I said, okay, you guys should reduce it and let me see what we can find. And they came back to me like, Ma, if we reduce it, it won't make sense. It has to flow together. And I was like, well, I knew that will happen, but you know, I will always listen first. I said, okay, let's post it that way. And I love that. The way I love you is the way I love your bio. It's very classy in a non-intimidating way. You know, it's very inspiring. I don't feel overwhelmed reading it. I don't feel like, where will I get to this point in my life? And it's such an honor to have you here. Such an honor to have you here. And I'm sure everybody watching are so excited to hear you talk about these things. If you're joining us today, I picked this particular topic specifically for Auntie Ini. Again, I'll be calling her Auntie Ini throughout this our show today because prior to meeting Auntie Ini, everybody in my space have met her. She has never heard me say this before, so I'm just going to say it straight to her now. Everybody, my friends, other my clients, if they have not been mentored by Auntie Ini, they've spoken with Auntie Ini at one point or another. Everybody knows Auntie Ini except me. And it became, what am I missing? What is the problem? Why have I not met Auntie Ini? But I am someone that respects boundaries a lot. So I just kept following her, learning from her. And this is to anybody watching that has always felt that, oh, I need a mentor. Auntie Ini has mentored me from afar and she doesn't even know. So I'll follow her. I will read her posts. I love the fact that she's a Muslim. I'm a Muslim too. So it's always good to have someone that you can relate with faith, right? Auntie, you are listening to me, right? So I'll follow her and everything. I've reached out to her on several occasions. Auntie, let's give you a free skin treatment. Of course, she would not agree now. So she'll just say, oh, thank you. Maybe when I'm ready, And then finally last year, I had the honor to meet Auntie Ini. Flesh and blood. Guess what? More close up than any one of you. Because I became a personal esthetician last year. As in, it was just the best day. I was so excited. And of course, she didn't see it because I'm very, very professional. I was very excited to see her. But what blew my mind off is that I was wondering, why did she want me to come and check her skin? It wasn't like her skin was bad. Yeah, she's growing, as in she's growing by age, but it's not like her skin is aging like very alarmingly, like you would think. So anyway, I was wondering, why would she want me to check her skin? Then we did the check. I saw some few things and I told her what we needed to do. We started. That is the part of the skin goals. Did you see that? She has taken care of her skin over the years. At her age, I was impressed by what I saw. Then our home, God, Auntie Ini's home is welcoming. It's welcoming. It's authentic. It's just so, it feels like it is, you should be here, but in a way that also give you boundaries that this is my space. It speaks about her. The smell, everything was just, I could feel Auntie Ini in that house, but I could also see myself in that space without feeling like I need to leave in time. And Auntie Ini, did you remember I spent quite a bit with you that day? Right? So I could see someone taking care of herself, taking care of her skin. And of course, we all know, if you're joining us, Auntie Ini is at the top of it. She's at the top of it. So this is someone that has achieved her life goals, her skin goals, and her self goals. From my post, I will see Auntie Ini as someone that doesn't take nonsense. She knows that when she say yes and when to say no. But she has also mentored quite a lot of people, like giving a lot of things back and made a lot of impact. Still yet, she prioritizes her skin goals, she prioritizes her self goals, and of course, we all know how the life goal is. So Auntie, I won't be disturbing you too much. I came here to write. See, this is my book. My pencil is here. My sharpener is here. So I'm not just your host today. Auntie, is there something going on? Okay. I am also coming here to learn. So it's 2 questions. How did you achieve this split integration? How did you do it? In spite of life challenges, in spite of everything you have to do, your mom, your wife, you're a big sister to a lot of people, you're a friend to a lot of people, a loyal friend. I know you have your group of very strong sister friends like that. How did you achieve all these things? How did you achieve this and still having this glowing, healthy skin? In our post, I said, Auntie Ini's face, that photo is not edited. Can you guys see that it's not edited for real? Like, look at that glow. Look at that glow. Auntie, show it to them. So how did you do this? How did you achieve this? How? please share it with us. So it will be how you did it and how you can tell us to do it too. Two simple questions
Okay.
this evening, Nancy.
Okay. So when I saw the topic, and thank you, Jumai, for having me on this, and thank you to everyone that has joined. I know a number of people trying to join on Instagram Live, so I've had to put it up on my story that they should join on YouTube. So I hope that we have the numbers for you. Yeah, so I've put it up and I've sent it to a couple of friends so they can join. So thank you for having me. I know that sometime last year you had reached out and it was just not a good time. Um, Quite a bit of things on my table last year. I was trying to finish. And so when you came back, and I told you, look, I always need a long time to plan because my calendar is, in fact, my calendar for February is very full right now. And so I like to plan a lot so that I don't disappoint. I don't, tell you I'm going to be there and then I can't make it. And then, yesterday I was like, oh my God, I need to feel better. I had been down with the flu, but I know I need to be better to be here. I don't want to tell Jumai that I can't make it. So just pardon me if you see me pulling my nose and all of that. So
We
thank
are
you.
just happy to have you, Nancy. That's all I know.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here. And then, when I speak like this, I normally like to put a caveat. And the caveat is that what you see is what you get. And I'm just going to speak from my heart and say exactly what it is. I think I'm at that age where I absolutely give no sausage about what anybody thinks or how you feel. But I am the most important person in my life, and that's after God, and then of course um, my husband comes after me, and then the children after that. Because I think one of the most important things is when we talk about self goals and we talk about skin goals. And so let me start with the skin goals. When we talk about skin, one of the things that we never really accept and understand is that whatever shows up on your skin outside is a reflection of what is inside. And it doesn't matter how you go to the spa every day, it doesn't matter how you try to frame and you know what I mean. If whatever is going on inside of you, it's horrible, it's sad, it's bitter, it's angry, it's you're full of envy and jealousy. We never understand that these things actually show on our skin. And so for me, the most important thing when we talk about skin, it's first of all, um, look at what's going on inside of you. So a friend of mine we've been friends for over 45 years. When she saw this poster, she sent me a message and she said, do you remember how you used to worship your skin? And I had such a good laugh because it just took me back. So when I was younger, say in my early 20s, gratefully, I can remember that I didn't have all the breakouts that, when we're going into puberty, from puberty to, moving through the adolescent years, into the teenage years. I didn't have all those breakouts. I can remember very vividly that I did. And I can't tell you why or
Are
whatever,
you
but
joining? Did you join?
I can remember that it
Okay.
was more
Laji,
about
can you help
the
me bring
fact that
AirPod? I can't hear my guest. I can't find my AirPod, but if you can quickly borrow me one.
okay, Jumai, we can hear you. Okay. So I think that somehow, I mean, I'm grateful that for whatever reason, God finds me worthy to bless with great skin. So those younger years, I kind of noticed that I didn't have breakouts. So in my early 20s, I was very particular. I think it was just a season or something was going on in my life that time that I don't understand. But I think it was just the fact that young coming out of my teenage years and finding that, boys like to talk to me and pretty young girl, um, Oyibo, I was fair, not as maybe not as fair as fair, but I was fair and I was young and I was smallish. So somewhere in between all of that, I started becoming very intentional about my skin. I don't know where it came from again, as I said. I can't really say what it was, but I practically used to worship my skin, and people around me knew that I was very particular. You could actually not find anything on my skin. It was like glass. And it wasn't so we I didn't come from a privileged home. I actually came from a very poor home. And so it wasn't about using very good skin products and all that. No, we actually use very local products. So I remember that my mother used to mix camwood and coconut oil. I don't know what they call camwood in Yoruba or something. Maybe somebody can share with us what it is. So she used to mix camwood and coconut oil, and that was what we used to rub. That was what I used to rub. And thinking about it now, I think it was the camwood because my skin was glass up to my late 20s. Even when I had my first child in my mid 20s. My skin was like glass. It was amazing. And somehow, then after that, getting into childbearing, getting into living life, maybe something happened or whatever. And then later on in my later years, in my late 30s, and perhaps early 30s, late 30s, up to the 40s. Of course, I started noticing that I was having facial hair. Of course, I didn't even know where that was coming from, and I wasn't as focused on my skin as I was in my 20s. So it was like, look, you'll get whatever. By my 30s, again, I went through all sorts of products. I remember having a season of Clarins, everything top to bottom. I spent my money buying things to keep my skin going. And then we moved away from Clarins, we went to Elizabeth, some one other product like that. And it was the whole range. I remember again, I left that and it was all sorts. So I tried all sorts of things. But one thing that I know that I stayed with, and that's the thing about your skin, you need to find out what works for you and stay with it for a very long time. Sometimes you're always jumping around products, so you need to be able to you know stay on what works. I remember that I used Tetmosol soap for more than 25, 30 years. Amazing. And somehow I think it was maybe like 5, 6 years ago that I went to have a facial, which I never actually ever do. But I thought, okay, I want to go to the spa. I want to feel like, how all these people feel like. Because I'm always hearing people say, oh, I went to have facial. So I'm like, okay, let's give this thing a try. And I went to BU Spa, and she says to me, look, what soap are you using? And I said, look, I've used that soap as far as I can remember, and it works for my skin. And she's like, look, it's too hard. It's, stripping your skin of moisture. And this is even though that I have oily skin on my face or combination skin or whatever they call it. And that's why, you're having the blotches and all of that. So I said, oh, wow. So I'm going to stop my testosterone. So what am I going to use? And then, of course, I got, into this black soap agenda again. Everybody saying, there was a season everybody was using black soap and all of that. So I went through that again, using black soap and all of that until I found, someone who actually does, what would I call it? She does very great organic black soap, and I started using that. And I think that kind of restored a bit of moisture, took away the blotches from my skin and all of that. So for my skin, that's just been the journey. And then, of course, I noticed that at some point it started having a bit of sunburn. I never used to use what do you call it, sunscreen. I never used to use it. I never understood all of those things. And for me, whatever I don't understand, whether it's for skin, whether it's for my life, I don't do it. I don't get into it. So I think I had a bit of the blotches in terms of the skin, the the sunburn coming back around my upper chin areas, and so and I've always followed Jumai and noticed that she always posted about this Regima Zone products and all of that. So I read up about the Regima Zone products, um, and I found they were really good. And so I called Jumai and I booked for a session. Look, come and look at the skin and tell me what do you think, since you are an esthetician. And she came and we looked at it, and then she noticed, I had never noticed it, even though it's been there forever. You kind of have a pot of wine stain. And by the way, Jumai, it's a birthmark. I found out it's a birthmark. It's been there for as long as I've been born. It's because I had to go look at the pictures again and all of that. So, yes, I said I was going to tell you about the pot of wine mark that you mentioned. It's actually a birthmark that's there. My dad has exactly the same thing, So she looked at the skin, and then she, gave me these products that were really good. And I must say that, find what works for you for your skin. But like I said at the beginning, what is inside of you? Are you happy? Are you stressed? So when I'm stressed, I actually have blotches on my skin. So you need to understand how your skin works. You need to understand what exactly goes wrong with your skin at any given point in time. Once you're able to understand that, then you help yourself a lot when it comes to your skin. And skin goals should really be around moisturizing, often. When your skin is dry, it will flake, it will blotch, it will, you know, give you all of those things. Some people are very quick at, having breakouts. You need to find out what makes you to break out. So stress, when I'm stressed, I notice it on my skin, especially on my face. When I'm tired and I've not been sleeping, so whenever I'm going through a long fast, for example, like I just came out of one, I don't sleep much. Because I'm up practically all night. Um, I find out that my under eyes I beat. You can actually see that I'm tired. So I try to catch up on sleep as much as possible. So know what works for you. It's not enough to follow other people's skin goals. It's not enough for you to say, "Oh, this is what my friend does. So maybe I'm going to do the same thing." Find out what works for you. I wear sunscreen now, so there's this daily care that Regima Zone has. And then, by the way, Jumai, I actually swear by the laser, whatever, what do you call that product? The laser peel something. It's a tiny blue container.
The laser
When I
has to
say
repair.
the laser
The laser
acid,
has to repair.
yes, the laser
The laser
acid
has to
repair.
repair.
Yes, it's a blue colored product, but I think that it's a magical product. So every time I am tired and I haven't slept, and I know that I'm going out the next day, maybe I have a meeting or I'm traveling. Let me give you a secret what I do. So because I found out that whatever is in that product just works for my skin. So I actually rub it overnight around my eye area and then the whole face. And then there's this eye opener that Jumbai also gave me. Amazing, amazing. But don't worry why. Don't ask why I haven't come back for more. I actually use it like this, because they're so pretty expensive. I'm an Ijebu woman, so we don't like to spend money. So
Anthony, don't do that.
no, but they're good products. It's just that you have to spend a fortune to look good.
Oh
So I
God.
use them. The eye opener is amazing. So I I mean, my eyes aren't so big. So when I'm tired, you actually see it underneath my eyes when I'm really, really tired. But you see the eye opener, it's magic. So when I use the laser Azu peel on my face, it says peel, but it doesn't peel. So you just use it overnight and you can instantly see the shine. Then I use the eye opener just like this, and I go this way, I go this way, and I leave it. In the morning, I've been able to mask my tiredness. And I think that it's amazing. So no, find out what works for your skin and stay with it. Don't so what will work for Latifa, for instance, wouldn't work for um Abimbola. You understand what I mean? So first of all, find out what works for you. And yes, I can see all my people. Hello everyone. Thank you, Kemi. Thank you, Latifa. Thank you everyone for joining. Symbiat, yes, I get your virtual hug. Um, my darling girl, Toby, yeah. Okay, thank you. So do that. I think that it's also important that every night you also have a skin routine. Have a skin routine when you're sleeping so that your face relaxes and then you get the moisture into your face. Now, another product that I use, and I've used it for a long time, but I'm actually telling you that the Regima Zone products work, and not because it's Jumai. I think that people who know me know that if your product doesn't work, I'm going to tell you that look, it doesn't work for me. I'm sure it works for other people. But these, key two products really have worked for me, and I really love those two products. But one of the products that I really like is there's this oil from Aweni Organics, the baobab oil. I actually swear by the baobab oil. I don't know what it is inside that oil, but the Aweni Organics baobab oil is amazing, and she never has it because it's always out of stock, but you can order it. I think it's amazing. It's a fantastic moisturizer. We need to moisturize our skin. As you grow older, once you're over 40, you must consistently moisturize your skin. You can't play with it. So that's really it around the skin goals. So again, like I said, it's what is inside. You really need to work on your inside. If you're stressed, if you're unhappy, if you're bothered by anything, if you're carrying a lot of envy and jealousy and bitterness inside of you, if you're angry at your spouse, if you're um, what's the word? Angry at somebody, it's going to show on your skin on one day, but it's a gradual thing. And you need to be able to work on that. You need to be able to find what works for you. So that's that on skin. I don't know if there's any question you want to ask on that before we go on to the next thing.
You said so much about your skin goals. You started from when you were 20 till now, and it's such an amazing journey so far. So it's really, I don't really have any question left to me. I would say you have even given people the tips on how to self manage their own skin. So I'm coming
Yes,
back to that. I would just want you to please integrate how I've done all of these skin goals over the years to get to where you are now with your self goal, and how, of course, you've been telling us how the the person you are affects your skin, which is like there's no lie there. And see, it is science driven. That what we feel in the inside, who we are in the inside, is a reflection of our skin, is a reflection of what is happening in the inside. So yes, I want you to know, because I specifically picked this topic and say, anybody that knows me knows that I am a personal development junkie. Like, I love to learn. And in the course of learning, I have met quite a number of women your age and see nice bags,
when you
power
say your age,
women.
it sounds so bad. I'm not that old. I'm just in my
No, no, you
30s.
are not, Auntie, you are not that old. You are 20 something. Now, what's that? Like, I meant well accomplished women like you, like, you know, they've paid their dues and they are getting the reward of that dues. You see those bags, those bags that you guys
Uh,
carry and see.
You know, those bags that can buy houses in Banana Island. You know, I'll see,
Not the
I'll see
Toby
them
stop.
nice. Uh, you can see what Toby is right there. I'm still going to put it out
I
there.
know.
So you you see they have everything, but and under that makeup, because of course when we all go out for this event, we are made up, we all look gorgeous and all. As a trained esthetician, I can see beneath the makeup and I can see
Yeah.
the skin screaming, needing help. And then I look at this woman. She has achieved everything. Everything. She's at the top of it. Either is a bit on top of her business or a career. She has climbed to the top of it. But here is she with a skin that she won't be proud of. And that was I found that out about 3 years ago. And believe you me, I'm seeing women that I saw 3 years ago, and I'm wondering what happened. Aging has started creeping in, you know. But then I meet other women too, like you, that they've been able to do all of these things, all of it, and still they've been able to maintain a balanced skin health. I have seen them also taking care of themselves. Also with these women, I will see under their eyes, like you've said, when you're stressed, it shows first in the eyes. And I could see stress. I could see stress. I could see another place it shows um is the your hand. Yes.
Yeah.
The skin on the hand also shows that you've been stressed. So when I look at them and I be like, oh my God, I just want to help. I just want to do something. And of course, a lot of those women are already they are already a part of the tribe, even though we cannot show their faces on the page and all of that. But how do we, the next generation and the generation before us, know that we are going to get to the top of things, you know? We are going to achieve your business goals, you're going to build that empire, you're going to get to the top of that career. But while you're doing it, you need to prioritize yourself. You know, you need to prioritize yourself, you need to prioritize your skin, because at the end of the day, it is that skin that you will live with at the end of
Absolutely.
the day. So I just want you to integrate this. You've told me about your skin. How did you take care of yourself, Auntie? In terms of even when things are not so, life cannot be, I cannot be naive to think that you've had it all good. I'm sure nobody has. But on top of it, you've been on top of everything. I just read your your bio, for God's sake, and I know you take care of yourself. So all of this is how I want you to tell the audience today how you have done all of this and how we can do it simply.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So I agree with you. That sometimes I think that the focus. I think that one of the things that I have learned in life so much is what is your focus. So a lot of us focus on externalities. We focus on the way we want people to see us externally. So you have this fantastic makeup done. You have the nice bags. You have, you dress perfectly. I mean, you walk into a place and people are looking at your shoes. They are the designer shoes. Your bags are, like you said, can buy a whole house in Banana. Your dressing is, the classic designer. But again, your skin, as you will see the skin, you will see that look, there's something going on under this makeup. So it's the same thing, like I said, that a lot of people don't take care of their inside. And when we talk about taking care of your inside, it goes, like I said, what are the emotions that are going on inside of you? A lot of women are very unhappy in their marriages. And whether we like it or not, whether we like to admit it or not, this shows up in our skin. You can't hide unhappiness for so long. You can color it up with, makeup, but it shows. It shows up on your skin. It shows beneath your smile. It shows. It just shows. I mean, for people that um, look beyond, the facade, look beyond the whole shenanigan going on there, it shows, And then, of course, what are you eating? I'm not a diet person. I think Latifa will tell you she's my baby sister. She's here, and we she's what do they call them? A health whatever, and she comes up with all these combinations and mixes all sorts of horrible tasting things. Yeah, I'm saying it, Latifa. Horrible turmeric with cayenne pepper and all. I don't drink all those things. I can't. you know I used to be a coffee junkie. I'm trying to get off coffee as much as possible, and 95 years in the past 2 weeks I haven't had coffee, but it's making me drink more tea. I think that just trying again, like I said, know what works for you. So a lot of us don't take care about the things that we eat. We're not particular about our food. I make my meals. I have a cook. I have a housekeeper, but I cook most of the time. So I'm particular about the kind of oil that I use. I'm particular about how my food is made because I make it. And when I teach my cook how to make it and she makes a mistake, I'm going to go back in the kitchen and say, this is how you make it. This is the quantity of oil. I had this Togolese cook that almost wanted to kill us with oil. Iyapol. When Iyapol makes stew, the oil on top should be close to like 2 liters of oil. So we fight every day about that. But it's just knowing what you eat and what is inside. So first, I've talked about the emotions, because even when we're talking about personal goals and life goals, all of these things come together by what is inside of you. You can't give what you don't have. And so if you're an unhappy person, I don't know why I keep talking about this, but I'm sure that there's somebody that really needs to walk along that line, that whatever is going on inside of you, it's going to show not just on your skin, but on how you achieve your goals, on the things that you're able to achieve, on the things that you're able to overcome, even how you overcome challenges. Um, I think last 2 years were extremely challenging for me and my family, as it were, extremely challenging. I mean, I don't know what other word I can use than extremely challenging. But I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful for all the people that I had around me, and I'm grateful to the Almighty for the ability to walk through all of that without falling apart and all of that. But again, like I said, it is about what is inside of you. Where is your confidence? And then it brings me to what I talk about, values. Your values are very critical to your emotions. Your values are very critical to any kind of goal that you want to set, whether they're skin goals, whether they're self goals, or whether they're even life goals. So, what are your values? Have you identified what your values are? Do you even know what your values are? And for some people, when we talk about values, it's like, oh, yes, I have values. But have you been able to align every single thing that you do in your life alongside your values? Because that's when you can be successful, in whether it's in your skin goals. Because your values are what will push you to make sure that if you're using a product, you're not going to use the product for 3 days and say it's not working. Your values are what will say, stay on it. And let's see if after 3 months you still don't see a change, then you know it doesn't work for you. Or perhaps if you see a change within this period and okay, this is not what I was looking for, then you can. But some people, use a product for 2 days. Oh, it's not working. They jump on another thing. Are you always jumping on things? And that this is just beyond skin. There's a seminar on how to make money. You pay for that. There's a seminar on how to grow your business. You pay for that. Who are you and what are you doing? Everybody is joining this particular coach. You follow coaches all over the place. What exactly do you want for your life? What exactly are you doing? So the foundation of all of that is your values. What are your values? So for me, my values are four, and everything I do revolve around those values that I create for myself. And it's important that I start talking about it from that perspective in terms of what are your values. Because when we talk about life goals is an encompassment um, of your skin goals, your self goals, or what we call personal goals, your health, your fitness, your family, your finances, your career, the kind of legacy that you want to leave, the kind of lifestyle that you have, it encompasses everything. So I need you to understand that when we're talking about self goals or life goals, we're talking, these are the things, it encompasses everything. How do you feel as a person? Who are you as a person? So your values will be that you first of all understand who you are. I think that I've seen women in their 40s, I've seen women in their 50s who don't know who they are, who don't, they think they do, but they truly don't understand who they are. And that shows in everything. That shows in their skin. That shows in their daily self-care. That shows in their personal lives. That shows in their personal development. That shows up in their health. So I'm saying to somebody, you don't, you're feeling pain in your breast and you take it for granted that, I'm just feeling pain in my breast. Are you serious? You don't jump up and say, okay, that's unusual, because you don't even know your body. You don't understand your body. You don't understand, why should I have a headache at this time? Am I being stressed? Is my blood pressure high? Should I check my blood pressure? No, so many people don't take these things very seriously. So you don't even know who you are. You don't understand when something is changing in your body. You don't understand when something is not right in your body. You don't understand. So how are you going to be able to set achievable self goals? How are you going to be able to set achievable life goals? So the foundation is about your values. What are your values? What matters to you? What's important? So the first of my values is my faith and my family. My faith is very important to me. My faith is the encapsulation of who I am as a person. Everything that I do in life comes from the fear of God and wanting to please God and wanting to be God's best girl, if you know what I mean. I'm a daddy's girl, and I took that into my faith life. You know, um, I want to be God's girlfriend. You know what I mean? His best daughter, his best girl. I remember years ago saying to people that, you know what, God lives in my house and visits every other person, because it's like, we are bodies. And that's what I've always wanted to be, that, I'm able to. So even when I'm going through very difficult times and I'm praying and fasting and I'm not getting, I have been able to grow my faith to that point to say, okay, my father just wants me to go through this. There's a lesson in it. And it didn't happen one day. It took a long years, because I have also been through the point that, why me? What did I do? I'm a good person. I love God. I try to be obedient. I do all the good things that I can. Yes, I'm a human being. I commit sin. I fall apart sometimes and all that. But in totality, I'm a good person. So how could you allow this to happen to me? But I've also grown to the point to understand that even when bad things happen to good people, and even when I'm going through very difficult times, I am able to get to the point where, like, my father is there, but the same way we as mothers sometimes, especially when you have a toddler who is always climbing on things, you will be like, one day just fall down. When you fall from that place, you will know not to climb again. So sometimes God wants us to go through those things. So my faith is the foundation of my values. And then, of course, my family. My family, I think anybody that knows me intimately knows that I hold my family so dear. And when I bring people into what I call my family, they become sort of my responsibility. So I also have that first daughter sickness where we try to take care of everybody. But when I bring people into my family or my friends, so the F for me in my value stands for my faith, my family, and my friends, in that order. And people that I call my friends are very few. I have a lot of acquaintances, but my friends, those inner caucus people, they're very few. And I think that that's one thing we also learn. When you know who you are, you know your values. Not everybody is your friend. You can have acquaintances, but not everybody is your friend. So you need to be able to delineate that. So I think that, for me, my children are just, I don't want to say my life. they mean the world to me. My children are the best gifts that God has ever given to me, and I think that for that I am grateful. And I absolutely love and adore my children. I, I, I'm always blown away by the giftings that are in my children. My one of my they say we shouldn't have favorite. You know, I don't have favorite children, but I'm always like, there's always one of your children that makes you go, okay, so if I had the opportunity that this is what I would have been. Most of you know Olivia. She blows my mind. I mean, she's smart, she's creative. Some of the things that she does, she comes up with, she. I mean, sometimes I really, really like want to get inside of her and then come out again and be like, okay, I can draw as well, and all of that. So she's amazing, and I have my retirement benefit, who's Miriam, who is just full of wonders, and all of that. And then, of course, my eldest daughter, who is a medical person,
Ma,
and she
did you just call Miriam your retirement benefit?
has the
She's
benefits.
your boss. Miriam is the boss.
And my boss, and my boss. I'm
I
sure
don't.
you saw
I
that.
just want to remind you about that. Who the boss is.
Oh my God. But Miriam is the boss. She's the boss of everybody in this house. Anybody that has come into my home, that Miriam is the boss. She's in charge. We don't even try anymore. She's in charge. And then, of course, my eldest daughter and my son. My son is the absolute lover of my life. I absolutely adore. I adore my children. I think they're wonderful. And of course, I have two other children, Al Hassan and Aliyah, and I think that I'm blessed with very incredibly smart children, and that means so much in my life. And every single day when I really think about, even when things are so difficult, and I think about those blessings, I am just like, okay, you know what? You mean you don't have a problem? You don't have a problem. And then, of course, my husband, I am absolutely unapologetically, unashamedly in love with my husband. I think that he is he's the best thing after everything, if you know what I mean. And then of course, my parents, my siblings, I've gotten to so many children along the way, and every single one of them matters to me, in their own special way. And I'm blessed and I'm gifted to be able to value each person, in my life in the way and manner that they deserve to be valued. So that is very important. Now, the next of my value is integrity. I think that for us as human beings, and that's why it's so important to identify your values. Because again, like I said, I'm spending time talking about values because it's the foundation of everything. It's the reason why you will stay on a product for your skin. It's the reason why you will stay on, um,
You
uh,
prioritize yourself.
ties. You know what I mean? If your
Yes.
values are misaligned, if your values are
Yes.
all over the place, if your values are not set, trust me, you can't achieve anything in life. You will just keep going and all of that. And that's when you find somebody pay more attention to their outward, what I wear, with the bag I carry, the shoes I wear, than they pay attention to every other thing. You find out that that's a misalignment of values. So the values are important. So the second thing in my values is integrity. Integrity is about probity. It's the fact that people can trust what you say. It's about accountability. It's about respect. It's about, um, I don't even know the word to use. Integrity is you're being conscientious. You are conscious of everything that you do. It has to align with who you say you are. Integrity is about your word being your bond. Integrity is about truthfulness. as much as is possible. You stay truthful. You don't say one thing and then you mean another. People cannot pin you to one thing. Anybody that knows me knows that. If you want to hear it the way it is without being politically correct, then you can come to me. If you are looking for somebody to color words and try and tell you, oh, you are so good, but you see, I am not that person. If you want to hear that, look, I think you're a very stupid person, but we can work on the stupidity so you're less stupid. I am that person because I feel like if you have taken the courage to come to me to seek for advice and to seek counsel, then you truly want to hear the truth. I've had people come to me and say, "Oh God, my husband is such a horrible person, and he's all of this, he's all of that." And when we break it down, we found out that the only horrible person in that marriage is you, because you don't have people around you that tell you the truth. So I don't sugarcoat anything. And for me, that's what integrity is about. Integrity should be that we should stand by truth and honesty. We should be honest with our words as much as is possible. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has it all together. But we should be sincere as much as possible. And, your character should be bound by integrity. Um, that's what I think. Another value for me is respect, respect and responsibility. I am big on respect. I normally say to people, I don't give it, so I don't take it. Um, I am very big on respect. I give respect freely. I respect people a lot. And I see that a lot of people are very nice to people that they think are up there. Oh, they kowtow when they see this particular kind of person. Oh, hey, hello, ma. Okay, ma. That's BS. Your level of respect comes from how you respect, first of all, the people that are inside your house, how you treat them with respect, and then how you treat people that can't give you anything, and then how you treat people that can give you something but don't have to give you anything. And that's how it goes. I'm very big on respect. I When I love people, um, respect is the next thing. I don't, and I say it. I think I've said it somewhere before, and then I went on a trajectory. There were lots of questions, and someone said, I should define it, and I said, I don't want to be loved. I want to be respected. I'm not crazy about being loved. I don't need your love. Because I have enough love for myself to give myself. You know what I mean? But I want to be respected. And that comes from years and years of understanding what respect means. So when you see a gate man, he doesn't need you to like him. He needs you to respect him first because he's somebody's husband. He's somebody's father. He has responsibilities as well. So respect is very important to me. Not yes, Kemi, as Kemi said, don't be selectively respectful. Be respectful to the lowest of the low. Because whether you like it or not, if in a country like ours, when you respect people, irrespective of who they are, it gives you a lot of street credibility. And street credibility is what will save you in a country like ours. Trust me. I don't want to go deep into that. But for someone that was born, bred, and buttered on the streets of Lagos, I know what I'm saying. Learn to respect people. I'm very big on respect. I respect my elders. I also respect my peers, and I respect those that are not my peers. How do you treat the guards at your estate gate when they stop you, maybe to check on something? You say, "Don't you know who I am? Why can't you see the sticker?" Darling, calm down. Life is, it's not as big as that. It's not. Life is easier than that. And some people think that they are more than what it is. Some people go on, can't you see me? Am I not too fine? Darling, you drop dead now, you become a fearful thing. So calm it down. Life is none of that. You need to be able to treat people with a lot of respect. If you are not doing it, I think that when we talk about self goals, this should be one of your goals. How do I begin to deliberately and intentionally, because we're talking about intentional living. How do I intentionally, deliberately every single day set up a goal of changing my hoity-toity kind of life. You know, you can be respectful. You can say you're respectful, but there's a way you look at people. So I found people who say they're very respectful, and when they're looking at people, they're like, and then you look at the person from head to toe, and then you measure if you should greet them, or maybe they're not worthy to be greeted, or maybe at this point they're not worthy of you talking to them. I think it's critical that you understand that it doesn't add any inch to who you are. It actually makes you a very foul person. So I think that we should be very critical and very intentional about that, because you can say one thing and actually be doing another thing completely. So set that as a goal. When we talk about setting self goals, this should be some of your personal goals. First of all, identify what your values are, and every single day begin to try and live your values. Another part of the respect is responsibility. I take responsibility for my actions. You will never find me. So if somebody is disrespectful to me, I'll give you an example of how much I have imbibed taking responsibility. So if somebody from the blues is very disrespectful to me, the first thing I don't begin to say, "Oh my God, this person is so disrespectful." The first thing I say to myself, "Amy, what did you do to deserve this?" And I am never shy of saying, "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have spoken to you that way. I'm sure that's why you responded to me in that way. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It just came out from somewhere, but I'm really sorry about it. And please accept my apology." And I'm going to make sure that that person really understands that I'm really sorry about that. So I take responsibility. I take responsibility for my actions and inactions. And these values are values that we have also imbibed as a family, and we take cognizance of that. If you come to my house, you're going to see it on the wall. What are our family values? These are our family values, and we stand by it, and we teach it to our children. It's particular, for my husband and I. We teach it to our children. You must learn to take responsibility. Don't break something and say, "I don't break it." Miriam will come and say, "Mommy, the glass broke, but it was the mistake." And so I even had to teach every other person in the house, because when she takes responsibility, that's not the time for you to shout on her. Do you understand? So she breaks something and she starts crying. And, her nanny saying, "Why did you do that?" And she's like, "But it was a mistake. It was a mistake." And she's crying because she wants you to understand that I'm taking responsibility. So you're not supposed to, you understand what I mean? So we've taught it. She's 5, but she understands and she takes it. That I shouldn't hide behind. I shouldn't say, "Oh, it's because Jumai did this that I did that." No, you take responsibility that I did wrong. Now, whatever caused that to happen is a different conversation. But take responsibility. And that's one of my values. The last part is empathy. I think that we don't talk much about kindness and compassion for other people. I don't think that we do. Um, I am One of the things I live for every single day is for people to come into my space and or into my life and say, or one of those days I was in one of my um, master's class, and one of the trainings that I was doing, I asked people to. So I give them a form and that I've already designed, and I say, "Write your obituary." And it's always not a nice class, because I'm doing this very, very top CEOs and very top C-suite executives who, in leadership, were trying to say, what is the legacy that you build? What will be your legacy? If you were to drop dead now, what's your legacy? And when I do this session, it's not a nice session. Trust me. I get abused, I get insulted. And I say to them, take 2 hours, go sit in a field or go sit somewhere and write your obituary. In spite of everything that you've done, you're a husband, a mother, a father, an auntie, a teacher, you have an MBA, you have a PhD, you have all of this. But who are you? And what will people just say, "Oh my God, she finally died. Oh, well, at least this land we are fighting over, let her come and fight over the land now." Is that what people will say about you? And having gone through that exercise myself, and having done it with my husband, one of the things that came out very strongly to me over 20 years ago was very important. I want people to say she was a very kind lady. Kindness is so important to me. It's not about, oh, she was a very giving woman. She was a very nice woman. She was a very blunt woman. Yes, I'm blunt. No apologies about that. She was the very, but I want to be seen as a very genuine, compassionate, and kind person. And that's how I live my life every single day. And it's important to me that that's what I'm not. I just don't want to come across like that. That's who I am. That's what I consistently want to be. So empathy is very important. Empathy to people, empathy to things, understanding where people are at any given point in time. When somebody comes to you broken, that's the time that they don't want to hear about all the bad things that they've done. We will get to that because he will always tell you, but you're a bad person. Um, but at that time, they need you to bring them to a place of release, a place where they are even open to hearing whatever it is that you have to say. So empathy is very important to me. Being compassionate, being kind, treating others the way you actually, truly, deep down inside of you want to be treated, not bad mouthing people. And it's in the place of empathy. When empathy and compassion and kindness are the cornerstone of your life, gossiping and bringing people down will not be part of it, will not be found in you. And say, oh God, I found her when she was, saying things that you don't know, getting involved in stories about people that you don't have the true picture, because it's not always what it seems. So I think that when you are living your values, it matters a lot in everything that comes out in the open. And that includes your skin. Trust me. That's why you hear the joke. They said, drink a lot of water. It will help you mind your business. It's true. Because there are just a lot of things, especially social media has made it so impossible. We think that people's lives become our painting board. And we think that we're better. We think that, oh, because I wouldn't do that. Who says that? Never say never, darling, because we don't know what it is that is going to happen to you that will make you do what you just said you will never do. So for me, that's so important. So when you set your life goals, one of your life goals should be around, when we talk about compassion, it's just simple things like learning how to say please and thank you. Many of us don't know how to say please and thank you to our maids. So they bring you food. Yes, you bought the food. Yes, you're paying them salary. Do you say thank you? Do you truly say that? Thank you, Auntie Esther. Thank you, yeah, Paul. Do you say that? Is it something that is like second nature to you? How do you conduct yourself around your children? Because they're watching you. So these are some of the, when we talk about, so now I'm entering into the space of self goals. The first thing is your values. Identify your values and begin to live your values every single day.
Every day.
Every
Absolutely.
in your waking up moment,
Absolutely.
your sleeping moments, you need to be able to do that. And when you now look at your life goals, so let's break it down. My life goals revolve around certain key areas. So I will look at it so first one will be my personal development. I'm constantly developing myself, constantly. And so someone said to me, so June, when the lockdown began, in 2020, lockdown began in February, sometime in February, March. We closed office around February 20th, 2020, and
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
thereabouts in 2020. And I started saying to myself, what am I going to do with this lockdown? I mean, nobody knew how long the lockdown was going to be. So I started saying to myself, what would you be doing? What would you be doing throughout this period? And trust me, I did everything. So in my house at that time, we were baking every day. We made croissant. We made, we were bake. Everything that I knew how to bake, we baked. We made bread every single day. My oven I'm sure the oven was at some point thinking, this woman is finally going to kill me. So we're baking every day, making chin chin, making meat pies, sausages, every single thing you can think about, cinnamon rolls. My husband was like, ah. So you know all of these things, and we are here suffering, and it was a joke, but we were making all of those things. And I just kept saying, this is not what I want to do with my time. This is not what I want to do. So I thought of doing an MBA. I have an MSc. So I said, let me do this MBA that they always say, you don't have an MBA, you don't have an MBA. So I decided to register for an MBA with Nextford. But when I went through the entire curriculum for the MBA, I knew that I was going to struggle because my first degree was over 30 years ago. And what they are talking about these days are totally different from what we were saying in those days. So I decided to register for a bachelor's in business. And I applied for the BBA and I got into it. I must say that I struggled, the first few modules and courses. I really struggled because this is business in the 21st century. This is business in in the digital era. This is business where we're talking cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and all of that. And for somebody like me, I don't ever understand all these things, and I never get involved in what I don't understand. So I decided to take the business, bachelor's in business, and I got into it, but it took a lot of things out of me because I'm up all night between the hours of 10 and 4 a.m. studying and putting my attention. And it's a 3-year program, but I finished it in 18 months because I kind of pushed myself that hard. And immediately I finished, I decided to take on the MBA, and I finished the MBA. The MBA is a 1-year, 3 months program if you're really serious. But I finished it in 4 months. And that 4 months meant there's no sleep. So in 2 years, I had a bachelor's and an MBA. And when I say this to people, everybody's like seriously? But again, that's about your values. Your ability to
You see why we love you, Antini? You see why we love you? Because you just inspire us on different level like that. And that is why we love you. And I was looking at everything. I sat down here, I was like, it's time, because it's 5 to 6, right? But we can't stop. Auntie Ini is giving it to us. I said it, the energy Auntie Ini brings to everything is second to none. Nobody brings your kind of energy, Auntie. And it's like you said, I'm just going to be saying it from my heart. It is what you see. It is what you get is what you see. Or is that, did I miss that up? Yeah. So, Auntie, we love you for all of these things, for the things that you do. And I can't tell you how happy I am and grateful that you're here today and you were the one that took this topic because, it's you said it all. You said it all. It's just left for us to pick the wisdom from everything you've said to us today. And I am so excited. I'm just going to go through everything you said for people. I'm going to summarize it so that they will know that even me, I'm taking notes, right? So in all of everything I've gotten, one thing Antini kept repeating is know yourself. She said it during the skin goals. She said it during the self goals. She said it during life goals. Know who you are. Understand yourself. Even when you're seeking help, like she rightly said, when I met her as an esthetician, she was able to tell me what works for her. She was able to tell me her own skin, and that's how it works. I can only give you my professional advice. I can only see what I see now, and you can give me the history of your skin. Knowing the history is different from knowing your skin, and that's exactly what she said. Know who you are, so that when everything is coming, all the trends, you are able to stay where you are and know who you are. That way, no matter what, you understand yourself. Antini talked about discipline. That's where she brought the value for us. You have to be disciplined. If you are not disciplined, you cannot balance it all. You can't balance life goals, you can't balance self goals, you cannot balance anything, right? She also talked about prioritizing. What are you prioritizing? What is important to you? When you start prioritizing, you start knowing what is important to you, then you start sieving what is not good enough. And for me, in that regard, I just see it as prioritizing means that I don't have all the I don't waste my energy on the things that are not important, like going through the things. I have already set my eyes on what I want to achieve, and that is what will be my driving force. I do not need to go to Yalagbaja or Babalagbaja. I just know this is it. If even if everybody is doing this, I know this is my what is important to me, and I go for it. Of course, if Ini doesn't talk about being authentic, I don't think this show will have been completed. She talked about being authentic self. It is through being your authentic self that you can put everything together. Be future focused. You cannot. It's only future focused people that remember that one day, oh, this my skin will age. What will I do to it now? How will I take care of myself? One day I will have to leave a legacy like Antini is doing. So you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the future, you're doing it for what you're going to leave behind, you're doing it for what you're going to meet in the future. So being future focused is very important. Count your blessings. Yeah, we need to learn to count our blessings. Like we always say, this wahala no dey finish. Is that how we say it in Nigeria? This as in problem no dey finish. As long as we live, there will always be problems. So, but if we learn to count our blessings and we stay true on gratitude, then it will be easy for us to navigate through everything and stay back to our core. Who am I and who do I want to be? Having the right support system is very important. And I heard you, Antini, to have the right support system, you also have to be the right person. You have to be the right person. And that takes me to your point of do the inside work. Do the inside work, people. Be a happy person in the inside. Be a happy person. Be supportive of others. Be happy for them. When you think that you're not good enough or you're not an area of your life you need to work on, take responsibility and work on it. Work on it. By doing that, you are doing better for yourself. I used to say, when you take responsibility to be better, is the biggest show of love for yourself. Like, it is the biggest show of love. Like, I need to be better. You're consistently on that path of being a better version of yourself every day, because you think you are worthy of that work. There's nobody more worthy of getting the work of the hard work you put in yourself other than yourself, not your children, not your husband. And I'll say, if you do the work on yourself, it's easy for every other area of your life to just fall together. Antini, thank you so much. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Do you have like a last word for us, and then we can hold on till we see you again on the show? You are muted, Auntie.
Yeah. Okay, so I think Jumai has summarized everything. I think the most important thing is to work on, on your inside. Is that something that is stressing you? I mean, I had a particular issue that had gone on for so many years that was really stressing me, and it was a matter of, now, okay, so what are you going to do about it? And getting up and trying to sort it out, and I'm grateful that finally been able to sort that out. So if something is stressing you, deal with it. If you're unhappy about something, deal with it. But it is so important that you work on the inside, because again, that affects, a lot of other things. And then of course, some of us have values that we don't take seriously. Go back and look at these values and take one out, every single day and say, I'm going to work. And so if it's about my career, what is it about that's my value that is not reflecting on my career? What's it about my value that is not reflecting on my personal relationships? And seriously, I need to put this in, Jumai. I read something, and for us as women, particularly those of us that are women, in this place, in this space right now, I think that is very critical, because we don't know how we know, but we don't take it seriously that these things affect us. So I saw something either today, this morning, or yesterday, and the lady was saying something. She says, look inward, look internally. How is your home? How is your home? And this is not about physical, the chairs, the nice chairs, the fancy interior design. That's not what we're talking about. How does your home feel like? When people walk into your home, how do they feel like? When your children come back from school into your home, how do they feel like? When your spouse comes home, how do they feel like? This is the foundation of everything that is happening to you as a woman. Because when we are unhappy in our homes, it reflects. It reflects on our careers, it reflects on our skin, it reflects on our relationships with our friends. We will look for people who lie to themselves to lie to us. We will make friends with people that are not good for us because we're trying to fill a gap or a gaping hole inside of us um, that it's not there. So finding yourself and understanding who you are and then dealing with the inside. Look inward, look at your home, look at your home, look at your home. What's going on there? Um, how does your home feel like? How do your children feel like? Because for us as women, this is the foundation. Jumai can't do what she's doing. I saw this morning she posted on her Instagram stories. And mind you, I watch a lot. I don't talk, but I watch a lot. I see a lot of things, and it helps me to conceptualize who this person is. And from an outside perspective, I'm trying to know who you are. I'm trying to see you. I'm trying to understand you from what you show me, and I can almost know when it's BS, when you're just posting bullshit. I can tell. And for some of us, we are gifted like that, you know. So find yourself. It is so critical to the three goals that we're talking about today. Find yourself. And when I mean find yourself, really go back inside, shut the doors, physically and almost emotionally, and shut the door, shut the windows, close out all the noise, and talk to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Once you tell yourself the truth and you're willing to live your truth, life becomes easier.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell your truth, but tell it to yourself first. Thank you,
Thank
Auntie. You didn't
you.
finish the story that you saw something on my Instagram post.
I've finished
What
it.
was that? Ma?
No, okay. So you going out with your children, showing
Yep.
them, places and all of that, and I think that is important. That again, going back to what I said about go back home, and your home is not just your physical home. Only go back home to yourself. Go back
Yes.
home to what matters. Go back home to what's important. Social media, short of saying it with all my mouth, is a lie.
Mm,
Whatever we post is what we want you to see. All those
mm.
people that say they're my role models, they're my do you really know them? Do you know who they are
Who
on
they
the in
are.
or
Mm,
know how many of you have watched the Tinder swindler? People are seeing it from the point of view of, oh, he swindled this, but I'm looking at it that we get carried away by what we see. We think this is
mm,
it, but it's not.
mm,
People are
mm,
hiding a lot of crap by
mm.
posting. I I have seen people who their marriages have fallen apart and they're posting sweet pictures. Darling, stop looking at people's pictures. Go home. Go home.
And go
Go
and
home.
make it right. Go
Go,
and make your own home right. Thank
go
you,
home.
Anthony. I am coming back to the private WhatsApp space to thank you, thank you, thank you. But
Thank you.
this is Auntie. I love you. I love you today. I love you every day. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring us for
So
this
much.
amazing
Thank
afternoon.
you
Thank
so
you. Thank you. Thank you.
much.
So until we see Auntie Ini again on the show, say bye bye to Auntie Ini. All right.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you. It took longer than we usually do, but it is what it is. Anthony was giving it to us, and we have to listen. How thank you. I hope with this point of Anthony, all of us can go back and integrate these three goals, our self goals. It is very important we prioritize ourselves, because at the end of the day, whoever or whatever we're putting our effort in is going to be successful. It's going to work. I always say the children will be fine, the marriage will be fine, the career will kick off. it will kick off and our business will work. But what happens to you? Who do you want to become in like your 40s, your 50s, and your 60s? Who do you want to be talking to when you look at the mirror? And I am not even talking only just the skin now. I'm talking about yourself. How well have you taken care of yourself? What are the things that you will look back and say, oh, I've invested in myself? Of course, they are not just our nice shoes and bags. There are more to it. What have we put in ourselves that we want to get back in our old age? And of course, the skin is very, very important. It's what I used to say, you have to have a skin that your grandchildren will be able to tell their friends about when they come to meet you. Like, have you seen my grandmother? Have you seen her skin? You know, you need to have that kind of skin. So thank you, everyone. And of course, our life goals. I know we talked to a lot of power women. There are lots of power women in our tribe. So I don't even have to talk life goals. We already all sorted our life goals and is moving forward. But we need to learn to integrate the self and skin goal with our life goals. It is very, very important. Last year, we curated a kit called the Ultimate Self Pamper Kit. And that kit came from the idea came from the fact that I see a lot of women like ignorantly going to different people to mess up with their skin and hair, and they come back to us to repair it. Then I see people that we have actually helped prepare their skin in the past, and they still go back because they need some maintenance or something, and they still end up damaging that skin and bringing it back to us. I thought, okay, let's fix people's skin, let them be able to take care of their skin themselves, and it's called the medical grade facial kit, and we put the pamper kits into it so that it's just not for you to take care of your skin, it's for you to take care of yourself. So that is how it is important to us that you take care of yourself and you take care of your skin while you are climbing that business or career ladder. We love you. Thank you for joining us. And until we see you in the next 2 weeks with a new topic, thank you again. And I love you all. Bye-bye. Thank you, Kemi. Thank you, Toby. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.